Well, hi, all my LGBT friends and others. Okay, of course, I'm going to make a comment on the debate last night. I was yelling at the TV. I was like, oh my goodness, I never have seen anyone lie so much as Hillary Clinton. She's just one evil person. Well, anyway, I think that Donald did well. I wish he would have held her feet to the fire a little bit more. So I know he was trying to be nice because of who was in the audience, but hello, Chelsea Clinton is no angel, okay? And she's a mother now, and you held back because of her. I don't think so. I think you really should have hit her harder than you did. And if any of you saw her little laugh, her little squiggle or whatever that she couldn't get under control, it went a few seconds longer than it should have. That was another episode that she had. I thought she was going to blow a gasket. I know that's not nice, but I really did. I thought, oh, good, she's gonna lose it. And the way that the reason why she was standing where she was is because her eye. Okay, you're looking at the camera, and if you're looking at the TV, for example, she would be on your right side, and Trump would be on your left side, and that's all scripted. They changed her podium to make it look like the height of the podium is the same. You get the same view of her as you do Donald, because Donald's something like, I don't know what, 6'4" or something. She's 5'4". He's a whole foot taller than she is, and so she was intimidated by that. The lady's a mess. Okay, she's physically not well. And there's some weird YouTubers out there. I mean, I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, she's just not able to hold office. And I think that, within the first 15 minutes, he KO'd her, as far as I'm concerned. And I believe that he won the debate. Other polls that you're looking at or whatever, CNN and MSNBC and all those people, they're just all in cahoots together. And, so even Silicon Valley is getting scared about Trump winning, and you have Obama, pandering to them. So anyway, I've got to see the doctor on Friday. I've got to find out what's going on with my chest here and this cold thing that just will not go away. I keep praying about it, but doing the Flonase, doing the Allegra, I guess it's not strong enough to knock out whatever I got going on. So keep me in prayer. Okay. Thank you. So I would like to continue with Deuteronomy 10. And this has to do again with God's mercy in restoring the two tables, in continuing the priesthood and separating the tribe of Levi and hearkening to Moses' suit for the people. So I always kind of wondered what God was going to do. Is it because he broke the tablets that he wasn't allowed to go in? Anyway, we'll find out as we read along. I can't remember off the top of my head. All right, so at the time the Lord said unto me, hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up to me unto the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou brokest, and that thou shalt put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like the first, and went up to the mount, having the 2 tables in mine hand. And he wrote on the tables. Isn't that amazing? Okay. He wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments, which the Lord spoke unto you in the mount of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly, and the Lord gave them unto me. And I turned myself and came down from the mount and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there they be as the Lord commanded me. I wonder what happened to those two tables. Okay, and the children of Israel took the journey from Beeroth of the children of Jaakan to Moseriah. There Aaron died, and there he was buried, and Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his stead. From hence they journeyed into Gudgodah, from the Gudgodah to Jotbath, a land of rivers of waters. And at the time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name unto this day. Wherefore Levi had no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according as the Lord thy God promised him. And I stayed in the mount, according to the first time, 40 days, 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me that time also, and the Lord would not destroy thee. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before thy people, that they may go into the possession, that they may go in and possess the land which I swore unto the fathers to give unto them. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all of thy soul. And again, it doesn't mean fearing him, but to respect him, okay? To keep the commandments of the Lord and statute, which I command thee this day for thy good. Behold, the heaven and the heavens of heavens in the Lord's thy God, the earth also with all thy therein is. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. For the Lord your God is God of gods, the Lord of lords, the great God, a mighty and terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor taketh reward. He doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and the widow, and loveth the stranger, in giving him food and remnant. Love ye therefore the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God. Him shall thou serve, to him shall thou cleave, to swear by his name. He is thy praise. He is thy God, that hath done thee great and terrible things, which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down to Egypt with 70 persons, and now the Lord thy God hath made thee as stars of heaven for a multitude. Prosperity was promised. Okay, chapter 11. I'll see if I can get through this. An exhortation to obedience. A careful study is required in God's words. A blessing, a curse is set before them. Therefore thou shalt love the Lord thy God, keep his charge, keep his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments always. Know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which I have known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, his stretched out arm, and his miracles and his acts he did in the midst of Egypt, unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and all of the land. And what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, their chariots, now he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you. Now the Lord hath destroyed them unto this day. And what he did unto you in the wilderness until you came unto this place, what he did unto Dathan, Abraham, the sons of Elab, the son of Rabin. Now the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, their tents, all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of all Israel. But your eyes have not seen all the great acts of the Lord which he did. Therefore shall you keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that you may be strong. You go in, you possess the land, whether you go to possess it. And that you may prolong your days in the land that the Lord swore unto your fathers to give unto them, to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. And for the land which thou goest in to possess it is not the land of Egypt, where you came out, and where thou sowedst thy seed and water seed it, and thy foot in their garden of herbs. But the land where you go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of rain of heaven, the land which the Lord thy God cared for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all of your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in due season, the first rain, the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in the corn and thy wine and thine oil. And I will send grass in thy fields and cattle, and that they mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourself that your heart be not deceived, that you turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath will be kindled against you, and he will shut up the heaven, and there will be no rain, and that land will not yield her fruit, lest you perish quickly off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Therefore shall you lay up these mine words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that you may be as frontlets bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes, that you shall teach them and your children, speaking of them, when thou sittest in thy house, and when you walkest by the way, when you liest down, and when you rise up, that you shall write them upon the doorpost of thine house and upon the gates, and that you may multiply in the days of your children in the land that the Lord swore unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. For if you shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you, to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and you shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Every place whereupon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even to the uttermost sea shall your coast be. There shall be no man to be able to stand before you. For the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that you shall tread upon, and that he said unto you, Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. A curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside from out of the way which I commanded you this day, to go after other gods which you have not known. And it shall come to pass that when the Lord thy God hath brought thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal. They are not on the other side of Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the campaign over against Gilgal, besides the plains of Moreh. For you shall pass over Jordan to go to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and you shall possess it and dwell therein. And you shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. Okay, that's the end of the reading. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Love ya. Bye.